Countdown. Welcome, everyone. How you doing tonight, Rob?
Doing great. How y'all out there in the great unknown? I know ice and snow starting to melt off here, thankfully. So I'm tired of looking at it.
Yeah, I'm tired of looking at it too, but nothing we can do.
No.
I don't know. I can't really complain. We haven't really had much ice, so haven't had much snow. I might have an inch and a half of snow.
Oh wow! I think we had about 4 or 5 inches. I know down in Knoxville they had like 6 to 8. But usually it'll rain, it'll freeze rain, and then snow on top. But it didn't this time, so we got lucky.
Okay.
Thank the Lord.
Well, I thought I had that Facebook issue figured out, but
yeah, I saw it pop up. Oh well.
See what we can do here.
Yep.
Oh.
A little cantankerous.
You know how things are.
Oh yeah. Technical difficulties. We'll get through it.
Yep. Okay. Still don't have the Co-Angler Corner Facebook, and we should be having it pretty soon here.
Yep, I think it just locked in. I see it at the top.
Yeah, it's circling now. There we go. I think we're all there.
Yeah, I see the
all right, everyone. Sorry about that. Rob and John with Co-Angler's Corner. We had a rough start today, Rob.
Hey, it's Monday. We got through it.
Oh yeah, we always get through it.
Yeah, I mean, no power outage. At least we got power and we got heat, so everything else is minor.
Yep, that's all we can do. We have a special guest coming on. She's no stranger to our show. She's been on once before. And Violetta Talley. She's also been on J Angel's podcast a couple times. Very knowledgeable woman in all aspects of fishing. One of her fortes is marketing and branding. So if you want to know anything about marketing and branding, you should stay tuned.
Oh yeah, she's
Ashley Klaus says, "Hey y'all." Ashley, she's going to be on a podcast here pretty soon.
Tomorrow night, I think. There's Baker May. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Baker May says you'll be the first person to comment. Well, Jeremy, you were the second. Close enough.
A little late to the party, but
that's okay. You know what they say about second? It's the first loser, so he did first of something, right?
That's right.
No, Jeremy's a good friend of the show, good friend in person as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've known him for quite a while. I think me and him met the Bassmaster Classic back in 2018 in Alabama. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, it happens, Jeremy. I feel you.
Ashley says she finally won something. But no.
There's Mr. Pam Horn checking in. Hey, Pam. Hope you didn't get too much ice. I see there's a bunch of ice and sleet out your way this morning when I was looking at the weather. So hopefully it passed you by.
Yeah, I invited Jeremy to come up. He had his plow on his truck.
Oh.
But I think he might have more snow than I do.
Yep.
But no, one of the things as far as professional fishing or whatever you hear more about is how do I get sponsorship? How do I, raise money to support my hobby or not just a hobby, if someone wants to do it professional. Well, my opinion, the old way of doing it, submitting 5,000 letters and requests, doesn't work. You have to, and you see it with the elites. Some of the pros are saying, you have to do it yourself.
Yep.
You know,
get your foot in the door. Get your foot in the door.
Yes, you have to figure it out and talk to some people, get some mentors, and assist you with that. So, and Ashley, she's right. How do I raise money to support my obsession? Sounds better.
Gotta have they call them partners now. Instead of sponsors, partners now. I think that's how they term it. But yeah, sometimes I mean you start off and you just get a little discount, but you promote and they notice stuff. I mean, you promote, use their products, you know, they do notice. You'll be, even the big companies, you'll be surprised.
Yeah. I was gonna hit a guy up that had a landscaping company down in not too far from the James River there in Virginia, but he doesn't do that anymore.
Yeah, but
and Ralph Antifeller steps in and says, "Need help with marketing? Get sponsorship."
Yep.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of background. Violetta, she's her background is marketing. She has worked for small companies and larger companies to help them with their marketing. So definitely.
I like it.
Definitely.
I like that last comment. That's pretty funny.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You wouldn't recommend them.
No comment on that.
No.
But
I wasn't going to throw him under the bus, but since he said it.
Yeah. I did go. I think it was FLW when this in South Carolina one time when they had FLW Cup. I actually got there early to show me and my young son, and wasn't hard nobody there. And me and Jimmy Houston talked for 30 minutes, and he was like, "Hey man, every one of these Bassmaster Classics, every one of the FLW Cups, be there. They'll notice you're there," and they do.
Yes.
We had a good talk. But I remember, I never forget. He told me that be at every show you can.
Yep. And Pam says, ever feel like you're not getting noticed and you cannot get your foot in the door with anyone?
Yep. Been there, done that.
Seems like on a daily, You're
like the old vacuum salesman knocking on doors, You'll have 40 doors and maybe one answer. So, yeah. Know the feeling.
Jeremy says the landscaping may be terrible, but his plowing skills are amazing. He may show me something other than floating around on Lake Oneida. Jeremy, up in the north, we call it Oneida Lake. Jan Holman, Rob, be Robert. He can be sponsored by being himself.
Yep. Yeah, he's got the personality. I mean, there's some guys that's just got the personality, and Rock, he's got it. I agree with you there.
Yes, that's one of the keys is being yourself. So, don't try to put on a front because the fronts don't work. They see right through them.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you, Jeremy. We love you too.
Hey, Jeremy, I get pretty good with a skid steer doing snow now. I think I can challenge you on the skid steer, man. I got something for you.
All right. Well, we're going to put our special guest on, Violetta. Hello, Violetta.
Hey there. Sorry, I had some login issues. I was trying a new tablet and it was not cooperating with me, so I had to go back to the laptop. I didn't want to understand the background, but it didn't work out so well. So, oh well.
We've been there and done that. We understand, and it's a Monday, so everything can go wrong. Will go wrong on a Monday.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, how are you guys doing?
Outstanding. How are you?
Good. Busy. This is a very busy week. Extremely busy. I'm going to the biggest show of this month. So we got a big show coming up, and there's a lot of work to do before that. I got business stuff behind me. I got to get fishing. I haven't even touched my fishing gear really. I have to go through all of it because I got to do seminars and whatnot. So,
are you gonna be at the Columbus show? I thought I saw maybe you're gonna be at the Columbus show.
No, I'm. It's a little slower this season for me. I'm gonna stay kind of in the Midwest, so I'm just gonna stay in the Illinois. I was gonna do Indiana, but things just got really busy. I had a busy month for business, and I kind of wanted to slow down because I'm now co-directing a tournament series, and I wanted to spend a little more. I'm doing some changes in my business, and so I need to be present for that a little bit more, but just in the beginning of the season. But otherwise, which is show season. And again, I thought I was going to have shoulder surgery, so that ended up not happening. So which is fine. So I kind of toned it down thinking that was going to happen. So actually I welcome the slowdown right now. So this will be my last show. I'm going to visit a couple shows because I have a lot of contacts and sponsors, but otherwise, I'm just going to kind of take it easy. Next year I'll go full blast, but not this year.
I got you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure if Jeremy's talking to me or you because he knows my wife's a baker and he asks, are you making cookies on that rack behind you?
I know. There's 3 racks like that. I know. I mean, I'm sorry about the background. This is my best, where I have my laptop. I was going to try to get I got a fishing wall over here. It's got my plaques and all my sponsors. I just haven't had a chance to get the tablet to work. It was slowing down and lagging. So I said, forget it. I'll put the laptop on. It's actually a drying rack. So I'll actually put, I do a lot of signs. I do a lot of painting. I do a lot of spray painting, or we'll do a lot of signage, plaques. I do clear lacquer. So it's a great way to dry things. But you'll see also, behind me here, you'll see things hanging. Those are frames. So sometimes I got to do things both sides. So I have hooks all throughout the ceiling and I hang everything. So a little bit of everything. So I'm still in the middle. I just expanded my office and I just have not had a chance to move a lot of stuff. I've just been so busy. And, and like I said, I got the podcast tonight. I had a seminar last week on Wednesday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was at a muskie show helping my boat dealer move some boats and get some brand awareness and promoting. And then this weekend, I got a 4-day show. I'm doing seminars every day on the tank. I'm promoting for several sponsors at the show. Running in boats. I'm going to help my dealer run some boats, and we're showcasing 12 boats there. So I'll help tow some boats there and tow them back. I'm an all package promoter, so all around.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tonight we talked, you and I, briefly through Messenger about what we wanted to talk about tonight, and we came up with branding yourself and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any tips for anybody, or?
Well, I have a seminar that I normally do. It's called Social Media and Fishing, how to market yourself or your business really. When it comes to promoting, people don't understand the promoting themselves. When it comes to anything, I mean, even though I'm promoting for a dealer or I'm promoting for a company, I represent them, I'm promoting myself as well. So they're going to associate my name, my face with that brand. So I have to learn how to promote myself properly, professionally, and efficiently, as well as be able to, be very aware and conscious of what the company that I'm promoting needs. I mean, when it really comes down to, I'm a marketing major. I've done marketing for big corporations, international corporations, small businesses, family businesses. I've seen them open and close, and it all comes down to the same thing. It all comes down to numbers. And the one who gets in front of more eyes, the numbers are higher. And if the numbers are higher, that means there are more sales. More sales, people are happy. And that's just what it comes down to. I mean, everybody's in business to make money. They have to make money. Some people get into business to make a difference, but to make a difference, you need money, unfortunately. But it doesn't have to be that cold. There's so many different ways to promote, and you can't just always throw money at it as well. So I believed in a lot of organic marketing, where it's basically organic basically means you're not going to put really a lot of money up front. You can do a lot of, use a lot of elbow grease, do a lot of work. You can use all kinds of economical means to get your marketing across without actually like the traditional way of buying ads. You're just going to do word of mouth. You're just going to go around, walk around door to door, whatever, cold calling, or just like what I do is I go to a show and I talk to everybody. I do seminars because I like to share my knowledge, but I also do seminars because I want people to be aware of who I am. So when you're standing on the hog trough, they would call it, on the big tank, everybody's got their eyes on you and they want to know who you are. Now, otherwise, if I was just at a booth, I may not see everybody. I may only see a percentage. So you have to pick the type of marketing you want to do. And of course, you have to be very versatile, but it's going to be a lot of work up front to get people in front of a lot of eyes. But that's really what it comes down to. You got to get in front of a lot of eyes. And that way, if more people know about you, and then the numbers will eventually follow. And that's what the companies and the brands want. They want the numbers, and you have to be able to move those numbers up and down. And it's not so much about winning. It's not so much about necessarily the way you look. It's not who you know all the time. It's everything. And whatever moves those numbers, the better off you are as a promoter. But like I said, there's so many ways of promoting, and there isn't one way that's going to do it. There's about 20 different ways that you have to promote now. Like years ago, you could slap your brand on a billboard and that's it. Throw a bunch of money in it. Boom. You got a spike in sales. Now it's what they call 8-touch marketing. It used to be like 4-touch or 6-touch. What that means is customer needs to see your brand 8 times before they decide to make a decision. And so they might see a billboard and say, oh, okay, Skeeter. Yeah, they're up there. That's great. They'll go to a show and they say, oh, that's a Skeeter boat. They'll see a brochure. They'll see a commercial on TV. They'll see an ad in the paper. By the 8th time it comes around, they might say, you know what? I'll probably get a Skeeter. And it takes about 8 days. So that's a lot of marketing. And, but right now the big thing is influencer marketing, using people who have a lot of influence to promote your brand. And that seems to be the top way of doing it now. But of course, everybody thinks they're a YouTube influencer. They all think they have influence. And some of them buy it and some of them actually get it, organically. There's just, it comes down to one thing. No matter what, it's going to be a lot of work. There's no shortcut, 100%. Guaranteed, you can hold me to it. There is no shortcut. And if you find something, it's going to turn around and bite you in the butt later. I bet you. You got to do it the right way, and it's going to take time, and you got to build. So that's like my long version of really the way promoting works. Yep. It's hard work, plain and simple. I have customers who hire me to do their social media, and I say, you got to put in just as much work as I do. I'll know when to put that post, where to put it, how to present it, but you got to get the info to me. It's your business. Yes. You know what to promote and what your customer wants. I just need to show you how to implement it. And the right way of doing it. But you got to put it all together. I'm not going to be able to take the photos and do this, and because you know your product. I might be able to actually do the photography, but you got to show me what it is and how it's portrayed and all that other stuff. So there's still a lot involved. Marketing, if somebody had the exact formula, that person's a trillionaire. So it doesn't exist.
Yeah, there's no easy answer. No easy answer.
None. I mean, the answer is easy. You're just going to put in a lot of work. Everything. So,
and Jeremy says he knows how to make money. Use 3 tactics: 1, believe in the product; 2, understand the product; or 2, show the value in its entirety, and negotiate your value.
Yep. He hit it head on. I mean, my biggest thing is all these companies that are on my jersey and the companies I work with. I truly love their product. When I started in fishing, I had no intention of having sponsors or anything like that. I thought it's a whole different realm. Everybody's got a different idea about it. And it all comes down to the same thing, especially like a lot of the high school kids. They think I'm going to win a couple of tournaments, or I'm going to get a bunch of followers, and I'm magically going to get a boat and rods and reels and sponsors. And I mean, that's kind of like the generic way of saying it. And some of them do understand. And I try to tell them, I said, it just happened to me now. I was at the Muskie show, and I had a gentleman who came up to me, and he's a very intelligent guy and seems like he's got a good following. He's got about 12,000 followers on Instagram, and a couple hundred, maybe 100,000 on TikTok, which that's actually kind of a little easier to do now. And that's we can get into that because I know all about the TikTok, the Instagram, the Facebook. I know all the metrics. But he says to me, the first thing he says to me, he goes, well, how do I get a demo deal with Skeeter? And I said, well, you want to know that you want the easy answer? You want the hard answer? I said, the easy answer is you work. He goes, well, I got a bunch of followers. I said, you and about, I don't know, 5,000 other people like you in this area. I said, that's not about that anymore. I said, you know how you start? You go to a boat dealer and you volunteer your time. You get to know the boat dealer. You really like the boat brand. You don't just get in the boat brand because they're going to give you something free. You really should like the boat brand. You should like the dealer. Help him out. Tell him to wipe boats down. Help them tow boats. Sit at the trade show booth. All that work and establish a relationship. It takes time. And even then, you may not get the deal. Maybe you want to get into the business of fishing. Start looking there. It's a build. Everything that I got, it came to me, but I was putting in the work because that's just my nature. I put in the work because I knew I needed to put that work in order to succeed. I came from a Polish immigrant family. All my parents taught me to do is you got to work as hard as you can. You got to be the hardest person working in the room, and then you'll get hopefully get the reward, but it's not guaranteed. So I'm very blessed that I have what I have. And I'm not no MLF champion or elite fisherman, but I'm working my way towards it. And my sponsors and my partners know that I'm working my butt off. I mean, I volunteered all of my time at the show these last three weeks. Nobody asked me. I said, I'm going to be in your booth. I'm going to tow your boats. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. And I'll do extra. You know, I helped them make some shirts. I did name tags, whatever needs to be done. And your skills can really blossom too. You use the skills that you have can come into play. But yeah, like you said, stand behind the product for sure. You got to love the product because people know a liar when they see it. Oh, yeah. So they know you're promoting just for money, or are you actually promoting because you love it? They know the difference. They don't know how, but they know it.
Well, so, yeah, disingenuous, you can tell. I mean, it's like night and day. It's just like a red flag.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, to go along with the hard work. Ashley's been working with a tackle shop since 17. Finally got him on board last year.
Yeah. And how many years was that since 2017? And it may happen in 6 months and it may happen in 10 years, but you don't look at it as I'm here just to get the sponsor. You're going to say, I love the product. I would like to help you promote this product because I want to see the product succeed because I love the product. Yep. And, you know, if they happen to give me a discount, great. If they don't, great. Either way, I did it because I got my foot in the door. So a lot of my sponsors I'd be like, I just wanted to sit at a booth at a show. I thought it's kind of cool to sit there and talk to people about fishing and promote the product. And, oh, you gave me a shirt with the product name on it? That's awesome. That's what I thought. I wasn't looking for money or free product. I just thought it was cool just to hang with those people. And, right. I got in the show for free. That's a big bonus, you know, that was me. And to this day, still, I'm like, wow, I don't take anything for granted. I'm like, you know, thank you for the pass for the show. Thank you for letting me get in there. I'm going to work the booth. I have 3 booths that I'm going to be going around. And one of them, I'm not even helping them with the setup, but I'm going to find a way to help them somehow. They didn't ask, but I'm going to be there and they know it. They know I'm going to be there. So, you know, and everybody knows they can come ask me. The problem is a lot of people do come ask me and I have a hard time saying no. And the next thing I'm like, wow, there goes the time. There's like 8 hours just went by and I didn't even do anything. I didn't even eat. Nothing. Yep. You know, but that's okay. But I love it. I love the process.
Yeah. Pam says, you ever feel like you're not getting noticed and just can't get your foot in the door?
Sometimes. Occasionally, you know what? I shouldn't say that I'm not getting noticed. I think I'm getting noticed. I think I'm probably not getting noticed I think I'm not getting. Now, in my mind, the way I look at it, I look at integrity. It's a very strong word with me. And that basically means doing something right when nobody's watching. And so I just have this innate suspicion that if I don't do things right, it's going to come back to bite me. And it just feels better. You know, I don't have to worry about turning around my back, or I'm not going to lie to somebody because I'm going to get caught in that lie. And I just like, you know what, I got to do things the proper way. And then I'll feel better. I'll feel better morally and consciously. And so what happens is there is a lot of work. I'll be honest with you, 90% of the work that I put out there, I don't think anybody sees, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But the people who do see that 10%, those are the people that matter. And the wrong people will weed themselves out. The right people will present themselves. You just have to be patient because it's not going to happen overnight. It could take 10 years. I mean, I'm working with Daiwa, and the way that worked was I created I created a reel stand, and it's a stand that you put your reels on for display. A friend of mine said, "Hey, can you make a stand out of wood that I can put my reels on? Because at the end of the year, I like to take them off my baitcasters and display them because he's got expensive reels, or it's cool. It's a great idea." I said, "Sure." So I made a design, threw it on a reel stand. It held the reel. So you know how bait casting reels, they put them on the box and they just kind of flop around, So I put those on, and local tackle shop said, who's a friend of his, because it's all word of mouth, said, "Hey, where'd you get that stand? Those are great. Those make our reels look nice. They're all uniform." So he bought 40 of them from me. And I said, "Wow, I didn't expect that." Sure. So I made them. And I said, "Hey, if you're going to have these at the booth, do you need help at the booth? You're promoting my product. You gave me my first sale. I'll be happy to work. Plus, I get in the show, Next thing you know, Daiwa comes over, their representative, to see if he needed any more reels. And they go, "Where did you get those reel stands?" And the guy's like, that girl over there made them. So they came and talked to me. And they said, "What else can you do?" So I came back with a beautiful design. It's the actual Tatula logo, all made in acrylic. Gorgeous. It shines in the light and everything. And I don't have one tucked away somewhere. Daiwa, I came back the next day, I showed it to Daiwa, and they said, "You produced this literally like overnight?" I go, "Yeah, my shop's, about an hour down the road." And they said, "We'd like to work with you." And I said, "Well, okay." They said, "Will you fish?" I go, "Yeah." I said, "Definitely like to work with you." And we just got to know each other, and the relationship blossomed, and they started to, I was pro staff. And, they get me in on some shows. I get in, I was talking to some of the elites. I get to talk to some of these guys. I went to the Bassmaster Classic. I mean, I'm not getting a salary. I'm not getting a ton of reels for free or anything like that. But I'm working with them because the partnership helps me expand my presence in the fishing world to get noticed. So, like I said, it's hard, and it's not to get noticed. You got to do the right thing and be with the right people. You can't just jump on board with anybody and say, "Oh, I'm just going to work with anybody." You got to do it with a purpose. So,
yeah. And along with getting noticed, Frank wants to know what the best platform to get noticed on.
Well, here's the thing. So, like how I said before, that it's a little bit of everything. To be honest, you have to be on all the platforms. So, Facebook, the demographics for like Facebook used to be younger. Now it's older. It's an older demographic. You could probably go. Demographics going to be a little bit lower. So it's going to be probably teens to, I'd say, 40. And those numbers are going to fluctuate as time goes on, as more people jump on board and have, are involved in social media. So you got to be on Facebook and Instagram, because you got to get the whole demographic, because the bigger the funnel, the more eyes are on you, because there's just so much out there. You're going to get it's saturated. Then you want to do YouTube, because YouTube's a completely different format. It's long form video. Facebook and Instagram only let you have so much time. Your Facebook and your Instagram are to promote people to come over to your full length video on YouTube. And so YouTube's all demographics, but it's full length video, which you can't do on the other two platforms. So these are all tools that you have to add it together to create your promotional marketing. Now, TikTok, that is, a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. It's brilliant. So what TikTok did is they did a couple things. First of all, what happens with any social media platform when it starts up is there is more content than there is attention. I'm sorry, excuse me, more attention than there is content. Excuse me, I have that backwards. So what happens is, if a platform starts and there's, a million people looking at the content, but there's only 100 videos, what's going to happen is those million people are going to see the same videos multiple times a day, which is excellent for marketing. That means they're going to keep seeing your ad multiple times. They may have missed it the first time, but it'll come by again. Now, like right now, Facebook and Instagram are so saturated with so much content, and there's not enough eyes on it. You won't see every video on Facebook in a month. So if you see the same video over and over again in the same day, there's your touch marketing. You're seeing it over and over again. You might be, bored of it, but you're going to keep scrolling, and you're going to keep seeing it. But Facebook and Instagram, it's just, there's too much content. So people are getting lost. So TikTok is still so new that there is not enough content for the amount of people that are on it, which is still great. That's why people who go on TikTok, like this gentleman who came to me and says, "Oh, I want a boat deal. I got 100,000 on TikTok." I said, "You can get 100,000 overnight. You can get 100,000 in one video. You can't do that on YouTube and Instagram because there's too many videos out there. But in TikTok, you can." But the revolutionary thing that TikTok did was TikTok is a platform based solely on category. So before, if you wanted to see a video on YouTube, you'd see it. It would scroll in like a suggested page where you have stuff suggested to you, but it may not get suggested again. And it's just random stuff that the algorithm throws at you. Once you like that person or subscribe to them, then you see their stuff more, right? Not on TikTok. So TikTok, you can like and subscribe and never see that person's stuff again. And the reason why is because every video is categorical. So you see the category, you're not going to necessarily see the person. So if the person decides to make a fishing video and then a hunting video, but you've been watching lots of fishing videos, it's only going to serve you fishing videos. And if that person starts to do hunting videos, you'll never see his videos again because it's going to start serving fishing videos. So it's revolutionary because now anybody can go viral. You don't have to subscribe to them. They don't have to be famous. Even their famous actors on TikTok, nobody sees their videos because they're not creating what do you call it? A category or what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a brain fart here. Some sort of anything that anybody is interested in. So they might be doing something like on cooking, and maybe there's tons of cooking videos, but if they change to something else, then more people who are interested in it would see it. So it's more about interests, not about the person that's doing the video. And that's huge. That's revolutionary. A lot of people may not understand that, but when you scroll TikTok for a while, there's a lot of videos. People are like, wow, I haven't seen this person post a video. And I'll physically go to search for them. And I'm like, oh, they posted hundreds, but they went off on a different tangent, which is not what I've been looking at. I've been looking at more fishing videos. This person decided to go hunting more. And so they've been putting out hunting videos, and I'm only getting served up fishing videos. It doesn't matter who it is. So it's, that's kind of the long part of it. So to be honest, to answer that question, you need them all. And you need to post different content on different platforms because, again, Facebook's older, Instagram's younger, TikTok's demographic is kind of all across the board, although it's kind of swaying younger, like under 30 crowd, but it's quickly going all over now with the TikTok shops in play. So you need a little bit of everywhere. And that's a lot of work. And you need to be posting. And I'm going to say this, but even though I'm not even doing it, but I follow a gentleman named Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. He's based out of New York.
He's not for the faint at heart sometimes.
He is not, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to tell you like it is. It's hard work. That's it. It's work. I mean, it's no different than, you go to work, like he gives the analogy of working out. You want to lose weight, calories in versus calories out. That's it. You eat right. You're going to have to exercise. Some people have to do a little bit more than others. Some people have to do less. Some people have to eat more calories, some people less, because of genetics. But it really comes down to calories in versus calories out. That's really what it comes down to. Same thing with hard work. It's the more work you put into social media, I guarantee you're going to get more coming back. But it's the quality of the work that tells you what the quality that you get back. So if you just post any photos up there, like just a bunch of fish photos, oh, I'm holding a photo, great. Well, you're not adding any value to your audience. Your audience is like, that's great, Violet, but who are you? Nice fish. That's like the 50th one this year. What is that doing for me? And they'll stop browsing. Now, if I say, there's a fish video, but I'm going to show you the jig that I got it on. Here's the technique that I did. And I'm going to give them my information. Now I'm teaching. Now they're going to say, well, gee, I might as well subscribe or come back. I might learn something else. That technique worked for me. Maybe there's something else I could use. So you have to give. And then that's 99% of the time. And then the 1% of the time, when you ask, they don't feel like they're being sold. And then they will give. But if you keep asking, throwing sales, throwing ads, commercial, they're just going to shut it off because they're bombarded by that all day long. So, and social media is social. It's meant to bring people together. So bring them together with either entertainment or information. That's really the two things that they really need.
Yeah, and I noticed last few pro staffs I applied for, it has what's your Instagram, what's your YouTube. I mean, all right there. Every one of them asks what platforms you on.
Yeah, and some people will only. I know a lot of people will says I don't have Facebook. I just go to YouTube. A lot of the younger generation will say
Yep.
I don't have Facebook. I got. Or, I'm sorry, I got Instagram.
Yep.
And some of them, and I know a lot of people. I'm on TikTok religiously, not as a poster. I'm constantly doing information if I have time. I haven't had a lot of chance to post, or which is horrible because here I am preaching about you got to post, and I'm not posting as much. But really what it comes down to is not everybody's on every platform. Who has time to browse all of them? You're going to pick one and browse that one for a while. And then when you get bored, you might browse a little bit of the other one. Then you run out of time. Yep. So you'll see those people are going to prefer certain ones. And there's Snapchat still out there. Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, still out there. We had Tumblr that was out there. There's Twitch. Twitch is a new one. That's mostly for the gamers, but now it's becoming for live streaming because now live is the big thing. And then TikTok shops, and your head will spin. But if you can just figure out who your audience is, who you're trying to promote to. I have a pretty big funnel. I'm not very specific, but I'm promoting. My demographic is, I would say, I'm not necessarily going for the high end elite tournament angler. I mean, I can't really, I can't really be on the same page as them because I'm not traveling the country fishing like they are. So they don't have as much value to get out of me. But for the local people who are even learning, or they want to do tournaments, or they've done tournaments, they want to learn more, they want to take it up a level, definitely. And that's good for me is about 95% of the fishermen out here, because most of them can't either afford it or they don't have the gear or whatnot. They just want to learn and up their level a little bit. So I'm in a really good market with that. But at the same time, I can still promote products that those average people can't afford. I'm not going to start. I mean, yeah, granted, Skeeter's an expensive boat, but I do cater to a lot of tournament guys that say, hey, you know what? I want to take it up a notch and I'd like to trade in my boat and get a new boat. And then I have something in my arsenal I can go with them. And it's a phenomenal brand. Fantastic. But like anything else. So that's what it comes out to. So that's my demographic. So you got to cater to your demographic, and but you got to post on all if you want to get to all of them. If not, pick one and go with it. But the more you post, the better. And it's got to be relative. So
Ashley,
I see that. Yeah.
Sorry, Ashley asked if you feel it's harder for women to get noticed, or is it just her?
Yes, 100%. Now, I don't know about noticed. I would say acknowledged. Those are two different things. We'll get noticed. We get noticed first. And again, the right people notice you, you will get acknowledged faster. I shouldn't say the wrong, but there a lot of people do notice a lot more than anybody else, but how many are going to actually acknowledge it? I have a lot of, and there's nothing bad, nothing wrong. I've been very blessed. Everything's been great. I've had great support, and it happens to a lot of the guys too. I mean, there's a lot of younger guys or guys that get into it or new, or, whatever they go into with the wrong attitude, they're going to get the same treatment. They get the same treatment I do. But in this sport, especially when it comes to promotion and sponsorships, I'll get noticed first. First thing they're going to say, if there's a room of 300 guys and there's one girl standing in it, what do you think they're going to say? Why is she here? And who is she? And what does she know? And now they get curious. And then depending on how you look or what you do or who you're with, and they'll notice you more. And then, so the way I look at it is I might get noticed faster, but they will drop me faster because I'm automatically going to have a stereotype on me. Oh, she can't catch fish. Can't do this. She's only holding her partner's fish. She's only there for the photo. But I've heard it all. And then I have some guys who are like, my mom taught me how to fish. My sisters kick my butt all the time. And I believe that women are better fishermen than men. I get that a lot too. Whatever it is, it's going to be all across the board. But one thing I do know is we will get noticed faster, but we will get dropped faster. So if you do get noticed faster, this is a marketing tool for us ladies. You are going to get noticed faster. You better be ready. You better be ready with the backing of it. You better have the skill. You better know what you're talking about. You better have a lot in your back pocket and in your arsenal so you can be ready to pull it out anytime and show these guys that not only can you look the part, you can act the part, and man, you can work the part really hard. And if you can do all three of those, you'll have partners for life. I've got people who've tried to sabotage me. It happens. What happens? Like I said, the guys do it to each other too. But the right people who are on my side, who promote me and who support me, said, I know her. She kicks butt and she's a workhorse and honest and loyal. I don't believe a word of what you're saying because I know her and I know what she's done, and which is awesome. So you have to, again, establish that relationship, establish those connections with the right people, and they will have your back. But it is a highly competitive environment. And again, it comes down to numbers. So you got to know what you're talking about. But like I said, yeah, you will get noticed. Believe you me, you will get noticed right away. What do you do with that? What do you do with it? You got to do it. You got to do it in the professional manner. You got to do it in the positive manner. And you better have the information to back it up. That's why I do everything that I do. That's another reason I get in with a lot of these sponsors and go to a lot of these shows. I learn a ton of knowledge. And as you know, I can talk as I have been doing. So I can talk a lot because I have so much in my head and that I want to share and that I want to convey to people. Because to be honest, I don't want people making the same mistakes. I've done a lot of trial and error, and I truly want people to succeed. And I'll still be one of the hardest working people in the room and hungering for knowledge. So I'm not afraid of, people passing me up. And if they do, I'll gladly give them a leg up for sure. And maybe I can learn from them. So that's the way I look at things.
Yeah, definitely. It shows. I mean, you got your product knowledge just grows. I mean, you may know a product good, but you get so many questions at the shows you don't even think about. And it's like, I may not have the answer, but I'll find out.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yep.
Jeff Henderson really loves listening to you.
Oh, Jeff, he's awesome. I love him. Him and his son, Robbie, they've been wonderful, wonderful supporters of mine since day one. And I support them as well. Robbie's a great kid. I had the pleasure of taking him fishing for a couple of tournaments, and got him on a nice bag of a smallmouth up here on Lake Geneva, and he qualified for nationals, which was nice. And I didn't care. I mean, it was a singles. It was technically a tournament where I was fishing against everybody else, and he was fishing against the minor category. And I just foregoed I didn't really care. I just wanted to make sure he was catching fish. He was having such a good time. And he brought in the biggest smallmouth bag he ever had brought in, which is awesome. And so it worked out great. And those guys have been such great supporters. And it's funny because they're musky guys. But Robbie's been doing very well on the bass circuit, and I'm very proud of him. So again, people like that, you need everybody in your corner who's willing to support. I will turn around and give them 10 times. As long as the time allows it, unfortunately. I just wish I had more time. And
Michael Horn says, do y'all feel too many people are possibly rushing the process of wanting to go pro, or too many thinking they want to go pro?
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, just like any other sport, everybody's kid is the next pro football athlete, and he's doing so well in college. And same thing with these guys, the high school guys or the kids. Oh, I've won a tournament, or I've been fishing this for, we always went on this body of water, and everybody's like, oh, I'm ready to go pro. And I said, if you really looked at, again, you got to go look at you got to look at the numbers on their end. There's a lot of travel. There's a lot of time away from family. Like I said before, I would easily go on the pro circuit. I would definitely try it out. And if anything, just for the experience to go to all the different lakes and try everything. But I have a business. I got to pay bills. I can't fork over that. It's a lot of money to they don't understand how much those entry fees are. They're a lot of money, gas, time, hotel, food, everything. All that's lumped into play. I just do local stuff. I can sleep in my own bed every night. I don't have to pay extra for, lodging or anything. And it's not a lot of gas either. Not a lot of wear and tear on my equipment. So going pro, that's a huge decision. You don't have to. You can go little by little. You can do little circuits, work your way up. But if you have the ambition and you have the drive, obviously, yeah, go for it. You never know. I mean, I can't tell anybody what to do, but it's not nearly as easy as you think. And you're not going to think you're going to, like, I can go to a Bass Open right now, and if I win it, great. I might get a lot of attention really quick, but I'm not going to get boats thrown at me or trucks or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, there are guys who still think that some of these elites show up at the ramp and, they get $50,000 for showing up at the ramp. From who? I don't think they get $50,000 in the year, even if they win 2 or 3 tournaments. Don't forget about taxes.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot at play. You have to love it. You have to love the product, and there's nothing wrong with it. Go for it if you love it. Absolutely. Sometimes it doesn't
You-
make sense. Just go.
You look at the top anglers ever. Kevin Van Dam. He retired and he's still marketing and promoting his brand.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop. You have to look. Mark Zona, another example. He doesn't tournament fish, but he still markets himself.
Oh yeah,
to do that. That's the key.
Yeah, because out of sight, out of mind. Once they stop hearing about you, you don't exist. If you're not on the social media, you don't exist. And you could have all the market. You could have the best product in the world. You could be curing cancer, but if nobody knows about it, it's not going anywhere. You're not going to be able to do anything. So all about the eyes.
Yeah.
What have you done lately?
Yes. What have you done lately?
Yep.
Amount of money to go pro these days, astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear it. Even some of the elite people are saying, I don't have the sponsors, I don't have the money.
Yeah.
You have to work for them.
Bath boats are $100,000, your electronics, and then everybody's. It's funny, the forward-facing sonar. I had it, and I should say I have it because I'm upgrading to the new one this year, and I'm doing it just because I'm having a great time out there. I'm learning more instead of theorizing what I think is happening in the water. I can now see what's happening in the water, so I can take that back to seminars and say, well, I can actually prove it to you because I got the footage. This is what the fish is doing, not because I think, which is great, but it costs a lot of money. So you're going to pay $100,000. Say you get a used bass boat for 50 grand. Let's say 50 grand, 60 grand, because that's about what they're running. If you want low hours on the motor or whatnot. Now you get a truck. It's got to tow it. That costs, trucks are 60 plus grand. Even a used one, 30 grand. Okay. So now we're up to 80 grand now? We're back up to 100 before you know it. Electronics. No, now you want forward-facing sonar because you got to compete with everybody. Oh, you got to get a trolling motor, which got to have spot lock on it. Oh, you need the 360 because you got to compete with everybody. We're back up to 120 grand, So it's a lot of money. Now, locally, I fish the Lake Geneva circuit where it takes about 20 to 22 pounds to win. Okay. And smallmouth, largemouth, it's a beautiful glacial lake, 150 feet deep, gorgeous, a lot of boat traffic, but we get some nice fish there. You got guys with $100,000 Skeeters, Phoenixes, Rangers, Express boats, Vexuses, you name it. They're there, 60 boats, right? Here comes these guys. I couldn't even tell you what the horsepower is. It's probably 70 or less horsepower. Aluminum boat. It had a hull. It had a hole in the hull. I always joked about it. I told him, I said, oh, you got a second live well going on back there, I could see, because the water's just running in. He goes, yeah, we got to hurry up and get on plane so that the water rushes up. Do you know how many checks he cashed and got first place over all those guys? Because he was out there day after day with him and his father and by himself. He memorized every dock. He didn't have side imaging. He had nothing. He just had depth and he had down imaging. But he knew where all the ledges were. He watched the weed lines. He watched the fish react. He was there every day. He killed all of us. So you don't need all that. But is it easier? Heck yeah. Can you go out nationally and compete with what he had? No, probably not. But still, it's yeah. And locally, there's so much. Now, granted, I'm in a highly populated area. Right now I can count 6 tournament circuits right around the corner, less than an hour away. And they're all team circuits. And now we got a couple singles tournaments coming. Then I go another hour north and I got 5 more circuits and Angler's Choice. So I got a lot around me. I had some friends who moved up to Maine and they have a bunch by them too. So local is probably the way to go. You're going to support a lot of smaller businesses, local people. So it might be the way to go for now until you can figure out what you want to do.
Jan Holman, as a mom of BFL fishermen who is sponsors, it's hard work, and Violet has great knowledge. Listen and learn from her. It isn't easy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jan. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I love sharing my knowledge. There's not really any secrets in fishing. I mean, maybe on the day of, like they say, I say we're all friends until they call numbers. But after that, I mean, honestly, it's hour by hour on the water sometimes. So there's no secrets. So I have no problem telling you. Some guy in one of the seminars last week, I was doing a club. He said, can I get your waypoints? I said, yeah, you can have my waypoints. I don't care. I said, good luck. I'm going to change. But you take all that knowledge and then you'll be able to come back and bounce back a little bit faster. But it's not just about the fishing. Everything. I have knowledge about electronics. I'm an electronics junkie. I got the latest phones. Although I didn't prove it today, my tablet slowed down on me, so I couldn't log in right away. I got a $3,000 laptop. I got laser machines. I'm a technology junkie. So when it comes to the electronics on the boat, oh man, that's my forte. But that helps me because now I can identify things a little faster. I help some of my buddies out. My sponsors, my boat dealer says, "Hey, Violet, we don't know about this active target that you got right here. I mean, we've installed a couple, but one of these guys hasn't physically used it. Would you be willing to help to do an on the water course? It might help sell a boat." Sure. So now I just help sell a boat because this guy said, "Well, if you can help me do that, that'll kind of get me over the edge with the loyalty on the boat deal." And I said, "Absolutely, I will." And plus it's a day of fishing for me, and it's a loyal customer, so I know him. So I said, "Absolutely, I'll help you with you if you buy that package deal and put it on your boat. Definitely, I will help you with it." And it was sold. So I mean, you never know what comes into play, but it's still fun. You're learning about all this stuff.
All right. Pam says, are there individuals or even yourself that gives advice or suggestions on what you could do differently or better to get noticed more?
Are there individuals or even yourself that gives advice or suggestions? Well, I mean, I'm a little confused at that question. Like, what could I do differently or better to get noticed more? Again, it really, what you got to do is you kind of go backwards. I need to get in front of as many people as possible. So the average fisherman is going to say, "I'm going to fish. I'm going to try to win." Okay. Well, obviously we know only one person really wins and only a couple people cash checks, especially I'm going to talk about local tourneys because that's what we can all kind of relate to because we're not all elites and some of us have done a few things, but winning will get you noticed briefly until next week. Right.
Yep.
So, and then every week somebody else wins. So there's one small way you can win, but that's sometimes it's a chance. Sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's a lot of work. Like I was saying, I decided to take my knowledge, learn a lot, and now I'm going to do a seminar. So now what I went ahead and did is now I'm offering seminars at local clubs, trade shows, boat dealerships, wherever there are fishermen that want to come that are looking for that knowledge or for products, knowledge about the products. So I increase my knowledge about all of my products. I need to know the different weights and colors of the baits that I'm throwing. With Grant rods, I need to know what are the rods made of and why. It's not because it's a selling point. How is it going to benefit the customer? The customer, if he's like, "Well, I need a nice light rod that's very sensitive, but it's got really good backbone, but it's really sensitive, but a little bit heftier." I'm like, "You're going to try the Cootie Seers." Why? Because it's lined with such and such graphite and blah, blah, blah. And that adds to the backbone. And when you're knowledgeable, they trust you because they're like, "Well, you know what you're talking about. It'd be stupid if I didn't go by your knowledge." I had a guy in a seminar, I was talking about this Daiwa reel. I love it. It's not the most expensive one. Not nearly. It's probably a little bit lower grade, but I love it. It's a workhorse. By the way, it's the Daiwa 103 SVTWS. So anyway, I can replace everything with it and I can run anything on it. And they're $200. Okay. To the average fisherman, it might be a little bit more, but it's actually really reasonable because it is like a $500 reel for $200. And the gentleman came to me, and after I was passionately talking about this reel, because I wasn't pushing the $800 stees or the $800 spinning reel, I was pushing the $200 best bang for your buck, it'll last forever. He comes up to me after the seminar, shows it to me on Amazon, and says, "Is this the one?" Oh yeah. He goes, "Buy, done." Just did it. Never tried it before, but he goes, "I believe you. You seem to know what you're saying, and I can tell you're not lying to me." I said, "Great. Well, I think you're gonna really like it." And then he told me a couple months later how many smallmouth he caught on the Fox River with it, which is great. And that's what I want to hear.
Yep.
So increase your knowledge. Go do more things. Go to more events. I'm going to go to the Madison show up in Wisconsin. It's huge show. I'm not in any booth. I do have 1 or 2 sponsors there, but I'm going to go walk around and I'm going to shop, but I'm going to get to know all the vendors. You never know who's going to lead you to who. You have to get out there and talk to people. Share stories, share knowledge. That's another way. And all that little stuff, because you're only like 1 or 2 people away from absolute success. And you don't know what people you have to go through to get to those people. So the more people you know. So knowledge, get as much knowledge as you can about it, all of it. And obviously the stuff that you love the best, your strong points, definitely. And get to know as many people you can in this industry. And just know it is a small industry. So what goes around comes around. Be kind and professional to everyone, no matter what they do, because they'll find themselves out of the business and you'll be seen as somebody as with integrity in the business, and they'll trust you and know that now that's a face that will represent my brand. Because even when things go bad, she kept a straight face. She was professional. She didn't naysay. She didn't say bad things about them. She just kept a professional attitude. We want that representing our company. And usually the higher end companies are like that. Skeeters like that, Daiwa, Grant and Rods. They have a very clean circle of people that they work with. And you have to prove yourself to be in that circle. And you have to prove yourself when you think nobody's watching. You better believe they're watching.
Oh, yeah.
So at all times, you have to be very professional and carry yourself well. And so that's you. So it's not one thing. It's not just like you can't. It's like not a 9 to 5 thing. You can't just hang up your coat at the end of the day and turn it off. That's not going to happen. If you truly love this sport and want to make an impact and get the most eyes on you, you got to play the game when nobody else is watching, or when you think nobody else is watching, I should say. So it's a 24/7 mindset.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of the funnest clinics I ever had is the high schoolers. I mean, when you're telling high schoolers, you see them just soaking it in. And those are some of the fun time. I mean, just little small groups like that, high schoolers, they're just starting out, and anything you're telling them, they're like, wow, it's great.
It is. You get some of those, and you get the ones that are like, well, my dad, we got $100,000 Ranger and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's great. I said, you're going to find out real quick as soon as you go to a new body of water that you and your dad having fish, how quick you're going to get handed right back to you.
The guy on the John boat's going to beat you.
Yeah, exactly. So the nice thing, what Daiwa did is I went up to the Madison show and they brought in 300 high schoolers. And last second they said, hey, Violet. And this is what I loved. They go, hey, Violet, are you just walking the show? And I said, yeah. They said, well, we got some high school kids coming tomorrow morning. You mind coming back? And I said, well, it's like a 3-hour drive, but you know what? You asked me to come back. I'll come. And these are, like I said, my dedication. They said, you asked me to come back. You want to talk to the high schoolers? Sure. I get there. 300 plus high schoolers, this giant seminar room. Here comes Ish Monroe, a couple other local guys and some BFL guys, some guys who are doing the Toyota series, all these people. I'm like, okay. And I was like, what do you want me to talk about? He goes, the topic is we want to tell these high schoolers that it's not just about the fishing. It's about the whole world around the fishing and how they should also get involved in the business of fishing. And I said, that's brilliant, because I've been talking about that for years. And you don't have to be in the business of fishing, but one gentleman was an insurance agent. So he did insurance on boats and other stuff. The other gentleman said, he was working on cars and whatever. So he decided to learn about motors. And as a motor tech, man, you could probably find a job anywhere in the country right now.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's hurting for motor techs and trolling motors and riggers. And you guys, especially electronics, if you know how to do electronics and wiring, and unbelievable. You could probably name your price. And they don't understand. They're like, well, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be the next Guggen Squad. I want to be the next MLF Pro. Well, there's only like so many. And there's hundreds and thousands of you. I mean, which one of you is going to make it? I mean, I'm glad I like their ambition that they think it's going to be them. You have to have that mindset, but you also have to be realistic and say, well, how do I build myself to get there? And then take that opportunity when it comes. And that's kind of where I'm at. I can jump in at any time, both feet, but I know that if I do that, it might be disastrous, and everything. And the foundation I'm building right now might start to crumble a little bit. I might get set back. So I'm going to take my time and take each opportunity as it comes out. And it's amazing where things have come out. If you just put the right amount of work in, people will notice. Oh, yeah. And it's been an amazing journey for me.
Excellent. All right. So we're approaching an hour, Violet.
I know. I'm sorry. I can go forever.
You're good.
No, you're great. Hey, we learned a bunch from you.
Thank you.
I just want to let everybody know that if you enjoy Violet, we did talk earlier in the year about her having a weekly or a once a month special, and it will be Talking with Talley. I believe that's what we just talked about.
Sure.
It's going to be, I believe, the third Tuesday of the month.
Yep, that'll work.
She's going to be coming on and talking about marketing and different aspects of fishing. And so don't miss that.
Electronics. And there's a lot of topics that we can cover. So if you guys have any suggestions, and leave them in the comments or whatnot, or contact us, contact me, and let me know. You can come see me at the Schaumburg show this weekend too. You can stop me at any time and talk to me. But I would love to talk about different topics because, like I said, I want to bring value to everybody because, my sponsors look at me, and I should say, I call them more like partners. They look at me and say, hey, what can you, obviously what can I bring to the table? But they also in kind want to do things for me. So I always want to promote them, but through all the knowledge that I have, because it's a variety of products. And we can talk about a lot of great topics. So please share whatever you guys want to learn about. Be more than happy to put something together.
Yeah, you can always just go on our pages, our personal pages, our fishing pages, Co-Angler's Corner page, and just say, hey, can you try to find somebody that is knowledgeable in frogging or whatever? Let us know. We're here for you guys.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Violetta, would you like to talk a little bit about some of your partners?
Yeah, sure. Lake County Water Sports, obviously they've been phenomenal. New skeeter dealer in Northern Illinois. Grant Rods he's been around for over 40 years, and they're going to be all at the Schaumburg show as well. And Jim Grant does still hand makes a lot of the rods. It's amazing. I can't believe after 40 years, you think you just give it up to somebody else, but he's dedication in the business of fishing. He's part of the Fishing Hall of Fame. He's part of, all these other organizations. He's helping other anglers, go up in the world. He promotes guides. And then he used to build rods for like St. Croix and some other companies. And then it ended up being his own manufacturer. So again, that's a way to revolve your whole life around fishing. And now he's got this amazing circle of people, but then he goes and he promotes people like me and other anglers and helps lift them up as well. So it's also a phenomenal sponsor. And like I said, I was talking about my friend Trudy last time with the Spania Silk. Again, she's still a wonderful woman who just promotes and is a great fan. And then directing a tournament series. And to be honest, one of the reasons I did it, because, I have all this free time. So I thought I'd add something else to my plate. What happened was one of my sponsors, a gentleman who owns Muskie Tails, his name is Kurt. He owns one of our venues that we do some of our tournaments out of. And one of our tournament series decided to switch hands. So he's like, I can't do this by myself. I got this great venue and everything. Would you please be my co-director? And I said, well, sure, absolutely. And the reason I didn't even hesitate, even though I know I pretty much have no more time in this world, but I'll find it, is because he's been so good and so loyal to me and so kind and helped promote me in this business that I think it's the least I can do. And so I figured also I'd bring some value to it as well. So yeah, definitely would like to thank him for bringing me on board and supporting me all this time, and so many other ones I can't name. I cut a couple, others, but we'll get on those in the next month. Absolutely.
All right, sounds good.
Absolutely,
sounds good.
Thank you, guys.
Once again, thank you very much for coming in, talking with us. If you missed any part of this, go back and watch it. It's going to be on YouTube. It's on Facebook. We're going to break you up into smaller TikTok videos as well. So looking forward to seeing you guys there and on our other social media platforms. All right.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Much appreciated, Violet. We always
Thank
enjoy your information for sure.
Yeah, you guys are wonderful. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on and breaking out the knowledge for us.
Anytime, guys. Anytime.
All right. Thank you. Oh. Wow.
Boy, ton of juice there, guys. I mean, she knows her stuff.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really want to stop, but
yeah, because she was just bringing the juice, just bringing it. I mean, wow.
Yeah, you can't, but you have to do it sometimes. But like I said, we're gonna be on every third Tuesday of the month with her, and bring your questions. So
yeah.
All right, everybody. You all have a good night. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow on the Co-Angler segment of the show. Anything else, Rob?
No, just we're blessed to have Violetta on. I mean, she's just a wealth of information. Just juice every time she's on. She's on. I mean, she's great.
Yes, 100%. Man, I just hope I get a tenth of the knowledge that she has right now.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night and see you tomorrow, 8:00 Eastern.
Peace out.